This is No One Left Behind by Cosmic Ace. Rated teen and up. Summary: Izuku Midoriya was 4 when he learned that not all men are created equal. Hitoshi Shinsou was 5 when he learned that not all men are created equal. Shouto Todoroki was 6 when he learned that not all men are created equal. Katsuki Bakugou was 7 when he learned that not all men are created equal. Momo Yaoyorozu was 8 when she learned that not all men are created equal. All children learn it at one point or another, but the Midoriya children are different. This fact of life hit them harder than most. But do you know what sets them apart? They did something about it. Alternatively, the story of how Inko Midoriya ends up with 16 vigilante children, 3 young kids, 3 older kids, 1 hero son-in-law, a husband that lights things on fire when he sneezes, and a partridge in a pear tree. Chapter 1. Origins Mark II. Summary: the timeline shifts. Not all men are created equal. Izuku Midoriya learned that when he was only 4. All children learns that important lesson at one point or another, but not usually so young. Not from being called useless by classmates and by former friends for not having a strong quirk. Not by getting beaten to the ground before going home. He was 4 when he was told it was near impossible for him to be a hero. When his mother apologized instead of saying he could be anything he wanted. When Kachan became a bully instead of a friend. He would still be an amazing hero, even if he beat down little Deku near the playground slide. Izuku thought only villains did that. He came home that day with starburst burns and purple bruises. There weren't many tears, an odd thing for him. Kachan had tried to bully another kid, and Izuku stopped him. He didn't regret it, not even when he was pushed to the ground and kicked when he was down. Not when Tsubasa had whacked him with his wings. Not even when Kachan dragged him to his feet to blast his arms with firecracker pops. He had saved someone for once. That was all he needed. The one thing he did regret was letting his mom see him like that. The instant he walked into the kitchen, she was on him, fussing and demanding to know what had happened. Only then did he cry, nestled in her arms on the floor. He didn't cry because of the pain. No, he cried for what he had lost when he was told about his quirk. "Oh, my baby, what happened?" Inko murmured softly as she held him tight. He told her everything. Kachan and his bullying, everyone ignoring him, and even the negligent teachers. He told her how he would always hide the bruises and burns to stop her from worrying. How her words had hurt him even more than the fire on his skin had. His mom treated his burns and bruises while he spoke. They weren't too bad, since Kachan's explosions weren't very powerful yet. Izuku could tell she was mad, though. Not at him, but at the school. The Bakugous, too, even if Mitsuki was her friend. At least, that's what he hoped. "Izuku, you know this isn't all right, yes?" He nodded mutely, knowing that she was referring to Kachan's burns. She sighed, and gently ran her fingers through his fluffy hair. "You were so brave, Izuku. Even if you aren't strong like Katsuki, you still stood up to him. I'm so proud of you, my baby boy, but you still got hurt." Softer than a mouse, Izuku finally spoke up. "I want to be a hero, Mama. Heroes save people." "I know, baby, but they get hurt a lot. You don't have a quirk that can stop that." "But I'm smart," he insisted. "Smart can stop the hurt from happening in the first place." I guess that's true, Izuku, but it's still dangerous. Let's focus on getting these burns treated, okay?" "All right, Mama." He didn't go to school the next day, or the day after that, since his burns were still healing. The bruises didn't hurt too much after the 2 days, but the burns itched a lot. Izuku heard his mom talking quietly to someone over the phone, someone named Hisashi. At least, he thinks so, but he had heard it from the other room. 4-year-olds aren't known for being good eavesdroppers. It was that night that Mama told him the news. He was being moved to a different school, and his dad was coming back. Izuku didn't remember his dad. He asked maybe a few too many questions about him over the dinner table. His mama just laughed and told him everything he wanted to know. Dad coming home was odd. They both went to pick him up at the airport, even though Izuku didn't really know what he looked like. Not until he came out of the exit gate and near instantly ran over to swoop Mama off her feet to twirl her around. She was laughing, and that alone made Izuku like the man he didn't remember. His dad was tall, but nothing compared to All Might. The pictures in the hallway looked different than he did now. He had black hair that was curly like Izuku's, and freckles too. His eyes, filled with happiness as he stared at Inko, were yellow like a fire. Flecks of black like ash too. He looked nice. When he finally put Mama down, smiling just like Izuku did when he was happy, he knelt down to be at eye level with the 4-year-olds. He gingerly put his hand out. Izuku took it in his own tiny hand, fingers only able to wrap around 2 or 3 of his dad's fingers. "Hey there, buddy. I know you don't remember me," he said softly, "but I'm staying from now on, okay? No leaving ever again." "Ever?" "Never ever," Hisashi laughed. It was deep and loud, but happy. "As long as your mom can handle my terrible cooking skills being back in the house." Izuku giggled, and he knew his mama was too. She was an amazing cook, but she had told him stories. His favorite was when Dad apparently lit a kitchen towel on fire when he had tried to use his quirk to boil water faster. Izuku was grateful Mama had already started teaching him to cook, and that so far nothing's been set ablaze. "Come on then, you two," Mama laughed, rolling her eyes. "Let's get home." Having Dad back was nice, but weird. The house was livelier, and there was more laughing and giggling than ever. Certainly more fire. That was the weird part. He caught a cold a few days after coming home, probably from the airport, Mama said, and Izuku watched as he sneezed out embers. It was funny. Dad stayed near the fireplace, just in case. Going to a new school was even weirder. He didn't know anyone, but they didn't know him either. No one called him Deku, only Midoriya. The teachers were kind and didn't treat him different because he didn't have a strong quirk. All in all, he liked his new school, even if he was only going to be there a few weeks before going to kindergarten. Kachan wasn't there, but he was starting to realize he hadn't been his friend. Not really. The break between school years was short, but it was fun. Izuku's whole family even went on a trip to the beach. He got to bury his dad in sand and chase seagulls. Everything a little kid could want to do in a day. They had a picnic there, too. The sunset was really pretty, but watching his parents together was even better in Izuku's opinion. He got to watch Dad splash and Mama in the waves. They were laughing, Izuku giggling right alongside them in the ocean. Dad made Mama happy. It made Izuku happy, too. Izuku came to the conclusion that defending someone else that day was the best decision he had ever made. Even if he originally got hurt, everything good had happened because of it. He switched schools, stopped getting bullied, and got his dad back. For once, everything looked like it was going to be okay. None of them were going to be left alone again, not if Izuku could help it. Never again. No One Left Behind. This was Chapter 1 of No One Left Behind by Cosmic Ace, read by Sar1412. If you like this, let me know in the comments, and if you have ideas for more stories I could read, let me know and I'll see what I can do. Thanks for listening.